Okay, I want to start with showing you a template with a link in it, a hyperlink. In this case, I purposely kept this Microsoft Word document very simple so that we could focus on the hyperlink itself. I will point out we have our standard opening and closing tag. So we've got document and then we got the / document at the end, and that just shows us where the document is and how we're going to populate data within that within those two tags. Focusing on the hyperlink itself, you'll see that the text here, I just have the status URL caption. Now you don't have to use a caption. I'm just using a dynamic caption. You could always just have the link say click here to view your order status. I just want to show an example of using a dynamic caption. And then let's go in and edit this hyperlink, and I want to show you something inside at the address. Now, as I described earlier at the top, we're using our typical template syntax where we have a $, left curly bracket, and then it ends with just a right curly bracket. And then the address, you'll see some characters in here that you're not expecting. Now, the reason you see those is that Microsoft Word is going to try to encode that so that it would work for an address. But you don't have to type it in this way. I'm going to clear this out, and I just want to show you how I'm going to type it. It's just a $, left bracket, and I'm going to just say status URL, and then I'll close that off. And I'm going to click OK. Now, again, if I were to go back and take a look at this hyperlink, it's going to be encoded. Just ignore that. It's going to be perfectly fine to use a document like this. So let's close this out, save that. And then I'm back over here in Web Clipper. I've already signed in. I've gone to the template section, and I'm going to add a new template. I'll choose that file from my desktop. And then you'll see that it's pulled in both of those fields, the status URL caption as well as the status URL. Now, because this is related to a hyperlink, it's going to default in as being text. If you've used other templates within Web Clipper, you know that we have other options such as barcode and an image. But in this case, with it being a caption, we know we want that to be text, and for the URL, we know we want that to be a link. So we go ahead and pre-populate that for you. On the label itself, just like any other template, I can change this. I can just say status caption if that's all I want to see within my template, and I'll keep it that way. I'm going to use the default name that it got from the file name, the simple order confirmation, and I'm going to save and test this. So once I save and test, it's going to take me back where I can make a test. It's going to default in the simple order confirmation, and I can see my two labels here. So I'm going to just put click here for order status, and then I can put an actual URL in here. I'll just put the Web Clipper URL, and I'll preview that, and then you can see that it's populated. The caption of the hyperlink says click here for order status, and if we were to generate a PDF document of this, you'll see that click here for order status, and if we were to click it, it would take us back to Web Clipper because that's the URL that I entered. Okay, now that we have the template imported, let's go over and create a new Zap. So in Zapier, I'm going to choose Make a New Zap. I'm going to start off with my test Shopify account and my test store. And my trigger is a new order. Okay, it found that test order I have in there. And then my next one's going to be Web Clipper. And my action, I'm just going to create a file from template. Now I could, if you've seen my other videos, I can create just the file content. So if I want to generate HTML content that I want to then make the body of an email, I can do that. But in this case, I'm just going to create a PDF document. Again, we just want to see what the link, how the link works. So I want to create a PDF. And the template I want to use is one I just imported, which is a simple order confirmation. After I select that, it's going to pull in my two fields, status caption, that's a text field, and it's showing that our status URL is expecting a URL. In this case, we're going to put in the order status. So looking at my trigger, I'm just going to use the name of this order, and it's putting in the order number here, and that's what's going to be my caption. And I could always say, if I can get my cursor in the right place, click here to see order details for, and then we're going to look for the status URL, which is here. Okay, so I've imported that. I'm going to continue. I want to test and continue. Okay, that works fine. Let's send an email to ourselves with that as an attachment. I'll choose Gmail. And I'm just going to send it back to myself. This test Gmail account that I have. That's where we'll send it from as well. We'll just say thanks for your order. And here we're going to say, please find attached. And for an attachment, we're going to choose from our create file from template and web clipper, and we're going to choose the public URL here. Now it's public for a little while, for 24 hours currently, and you can use this URL to get to the document, but then that expires, and that gives us enough time for your Zap to trigger. We can pull it, and this is a really long URL. It's got a special key in it that allows us to get to private files through a public URL. But I'm going to select that public URL. I'm going to continue. Of course, anytime you go and get a file through a URL, it has to be public, or you have to be connected specifically to that. But that's in our storage file location, and we're going to test and continue. And it looks like that went well. Let's go over to our inbox, and we've got a new file here. And then you can see please find attached. And if we look at the document itself, thank you for your order. This is the data that we entered. Click here to see order details, and then it's got our order number. And if I were to click on it, it would take us to this fake store I have here. But you can see now that the order is showing up. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, reach out to us.